technically, first of all, I think it went back to habits. And every coach is going to have the, let's say, the top five habits you want or top three habits on the ice, and I think part of that was one of mine is like that the players got to love the game. I think that's the most important thing we can do as coaches at any level, whether it's a 6-year-old kids or it's a National Hockey League. Because there's a lot of lots of adversity. It's not easy at any level, and you're going to have the adversity along the way at every level. So I think that was a big thing. I think that Memorial Cup Challenge really helped us, brought our team together. We had a lot of fun off ice. Remember, we spent one Friday night at the Boys and Girls Club. We did there's always a fine line with COVID. Like we want to do some public things for the community, but we want to make sure our players stayed healthy as well. So it's that fine line. But I know we did some, autographs before and things for all the boys. They were having a big supper at the Boys and Girls Club, outdoor picnic, I guess it was. But, we had 3 hours there where we got to combine some strategy. I like to motivate or maybe more inspire, maybe a better word, but just different things I like to do as a coach. So, and then we had some events there at the gymnasium that they had there, and the event was really competitive, which it usually is, So we could do things off ice. They're really competitive. We could do things on ice. Every practice we would finish with some type of competitive game, maybe two, and then we'd have competition Friday where we just had competitive games all that practice, and you find as a coach, I'm sure coaches try those, is that sometimes they'll be that practice will be the hardest practice of the week quite often, so going back to the tactical is getting habits like stopping on pucks, really battling, the forecheck, and even we came up with the 2-on-1 St. John philosophy. I think the game is if you can create more 2-on-1s with or without the puck, you have advantage. But it's a hard system to play. You got to be fit and you got to be ready to skate. So a lot of our drills are on this, this tactic or concept of 2-on-1 everything. So if a player is entering our zone, obviously the D man's going to play him 1-on-1, but we want to have a back checker, to make it a 2-on-1. So I said all these teams we're going to face, obviously, are going to have an unbelievable skill level. They're going to be champions, and we're going to have to use, maybe 1-on-one's not good enough. So there was that concept of 2-on-1 in everything we did. And then offensively, you're bringing concepts of 2-on-1, crosses and things like that with the puck and buying time and space and things like that. But technically, I think is we want to be really simple. And, we've at UNB, we've used them a lot, be great at simple. And so we wanted to simplify how we want to play. And, I think face-offs, we spend a lot of time on face-offs and different face-off drills, even 5-on-5 face-offs is part of the practice and into, a 30-second scrimmage, 5-on-5 play. And then you bring in your components, your regroup is brought in, who wins the face-off, your forward check's brought in, who lost the face-off. And if you do that in all three zones, then you can bring a lot of what you're worked on into a game-like situation, and at UMB, we play fast, and that's what we want to do. I don't know if we've ever been known in St. John as like a speed or fast team, but our guys did play fast, and we want to build in the relentless of being relentless on the puck. And, if we didn't get the first time, we want to hang in there and get, battle in the second time. And hopefully we have someone in come help us in that battle, so we spend a lot of time on 10-foot races, 15-foot races, lots of drills, and then lots of battles, in different areas, open ice battles, but also in the corner battles, blue lines are key parts. So we had drills for, chipping it out, chipping it in, so we had lots of time to build in, and like all the coaches had some great drills. Rob brought some great drills in. So, and then, you find let's say your core 10 drills that you use a lot, and then you bring in different drills in that. So I think tactically it'd probably be more principles, Tim, than okay, is your forecheck. Our forecheck was, it's pretty simple forecheck. And as I told the guys, we have part A of the forecheck, part B, and we had a guy, Hunter Tromley, who's a tremendous player for us. We were at the Nationals up in Thunder Bay back in 2009, and the TSN reporter was interviewed. He was injured and he wasn't in the game. He says, like the UMB, and we had played Alberta our first game, and he said, it's like you have two guys on the puck, every puck, and it's like you guys have an extra person on the ice. And your forecheck's unbelievable. Like, it must be complicated. Like, what is the name of the forecheck? And Hunter Tromley says, it's called the bent knee. So we have bent knee 1 and we have bent knee 2, so again, and, we have placement where we want people in that, but I think sometimes you got to let people be comfortable. If we can get someone on the puck as fast as possible and have another person able to help him out, then, the third person can be ready after that. And sometimes our forecheck would be no different in novice hockey when you have 10 people and everyone's around the puck, so but that's, kind of like the tactics. And then we just added to it as we went, but it was more building the principles, how we want to play. And obviously we want to be a team, have puck possession as much, but I think we want to go north rather than east-west. We want to make a simple game. So our D-men, rather, we head D to D, but if we could bring it right up, we tried to bring it right up. And that's probably one thing. We had a really skilled defense that liked to handle a puck. And we probably tried to simplify, and instead of 6 seconds with the puck, we only want you to have it 2 seconds, and make an accurate pass, move it in. I like to go through the middle of the ice as much as possible, so we tried to work through the middle of the ice. And then so I think breakouts was a thing that we do, especially once we got the first weekend. We do breakouts every second day. So we probably have 4 or 5 different breakouts drills, but I think that's getting the puck at your own end, to me, is a key concept. Less time in your own zone, the better it is, and I think players will buy into that as well, so we thought we wanted to try to, and again, our D, skate it well and could win races. And the teams we knew that we're playing were teams that attacked off the rush, or all 3 teams were really, really good off the rush. And so that meant, we had to be better in the offensive zone of putting the pucks where we're not going to turn it over. So it's trying to take probably a little bit of the one-on-one skill component that players love to play with, and that in January, February, March, and April, go to it. In the month of May, I tried to say, here, we got to be more efficient, and I'm always going to trust the player, to make plays, especially in the offensive zone. But we tried to say, okay, make, like 80% decisions, 90% decisions, 100% decisions, rather than 50% decisions. I mean, you got some players like, William Defoe, he's our lead horse, and you got to let him be who he is. But, he bought into how we want to play as well. And, obviously ended up being the MVP of the tournament. So, and then had a great World Juniors here just recently, so it's great to see where, 1 week can change his life, and give him an opportunity for another 10 days to change his life. And now he's one of the few guys that has won a Memorial Cup and a World Championship in the same season.
I'll